Hi friends, welcome to Kodai Linux. I am your facilitator Murali. So in this session, we are going to learn the following. What are filters? There are a special set of commands known as filter commands. So we are going to learn about them. Then as a part of filter commands, we are going to learn about two of the filter commands, head and tail. There are many filter commands. We are going to learn in this session about two of filter commands, head and tail. And we are going to learn about a special kind of mechanism provided by shell known as piping mechanism. So we are going to learn about pipe. What is a pipe created by shell and what is its significance? Filters. So there are a set of commands that both read input from standard input file and write their output to the standard output file. These commands are known as filters. See, there are a set of commands which just read the input from the standard input file, and the output they may either write to some disk file or they may write to some system device, like, or they may perform some task without writing any output at all. Like we have a command called exarchs. What does that exarchs do means just reading the input, it reads from the standard input file, that is keyboard, but it just does a task. So later on when we would be learning about exarchs command, we would understand it. Okay, fine. So there are also certain commands, okay, which read the input from the system, which read the input from the file system and write output to the monitor, that is standard output file. Like you have the ls command, it reads the input from the file system, it reads the input from the directory, right? The set of files in the directory it reads. So its input source is directory and its output is console, that is the user's console, that is the standard output file, the monitor. Okay, take the find command, it reads its input from the system, file system, okay, and it sends the output to the monitor. There are certain other files which neither read input from keyboard nor write output to monitor, like we just learnt about cp, mv, rm, these commands, right? So you need to specify some file names as arguments to the commands cp, mv and rm. Such commands, you just need to specify some file name as arguments and they just perform some task. They neither read the input from the keyboard nor write their output to the monitor, right? Okay. So to these filter commands, if we pass file names as arguments or do input redirection from a file, they read from the file rather than the standard input. Okay, so they normally read the input from the keyboard when issued without any arguments. They read input from keyboard, but by doing input redirection or specifying file name as arguments, you can tell these filter commands to read the input from the files rather than the keyboard, rather than their default action, that is reading from the keyboard. Similarly, by specifying output redirection, we can instruct these filter commands to write their outputs to a file rather than to the standard output file, that is the user's console. Okay, so that is the significance of filters. Next, we would be learning about pipe. What is a pipe? A pipe is a shell mechanism wherein shell creates a special buffer called as pipe. Okay, so what is a pipe? Just you consider one pipe. What is it? It allows something to go through it. Okay, so it has got some capacity, right? It has got some buffer, it has got some capacity. Let us call that capacity as a buffer, some place to store something, right? And we give something at one end and we can receive it at the other end. That is what is a pipe. Okay, so when does the shell create a pipe? So when the user types in a command that produces an output, okay, so I told you that there are certain commands that produces output, right? Like ls command, find command, okay. So when user types in a command that produces an output followed by the pipe symbol, there is a symbol called pipe symbol in your keyboard, followed by a command that accepts input from standard input. And the right hand side of the pipe symbol, you specify a command that would read the input from the keyboard. So now what happens then? In that case, shell creates a special buffer called as pipe, okay. And whatever command is supposed to write output to the monitor, write output to the user's console, that is a screen, that command would write its output to the pipe, okay. It will put its output to the pipe, and whichever command is supposed to read input from the keyboard, that will read from the pipe, okay. So for example, consider ls pipe more. When we are giving a command line like this, ls produces an output, we all know, right? And we are giving pipe in between, ls pipe more. Then what happens? ls produces an output. What shell will do? It creates a special buffer called pipe, then executes ls command. And what happens? The shell places the output of ls command in the pipe buffer, okay. And more can read input from the keyboard. More normally reads input from the keyboard. So now more command, rather reading the input from the keyboard, it reads the input from the pipe, okay. So always there are two ends to the pipe, the write end and the read end. The writer process, here in this case, a writer process is the ls process. So ls writes at the right end of the pipe and more reads from the read end of the pipe, okay. So you can visualize it like this, whatever you write here. So w, you can take it as ls. So ls is writing at the right end of the pipe, and then more command, it reads from the read end of the pipe. So you can visualize the pipe in this way, okay. So let us start working on these aspects practically. First, let us learn about the head command. So the syntax of head command is head minus n, okay, and how many number of lines you want to extract from the beginning of the file, because head helps us to extract a set of lines, a specific set of lines from the beginning of the file. Say head minus n refers to, the minus n option refers to the number of lines to be extracted. Maybe 20 lines I want to extract. From which file? There is a configuration file called /etc/password, wherein all the users information, the credential information would be stored, okay. So I want to extract first 20 lines from the file /etc/password, okay. So it is extracted first 20 lines from the file /etc/password, okay. Let us suppose that I want to extract first 5 lines from the file /etc/password. Is it not extracting 5 lines? Yes, 5 lines. So how many ever lines we are specifying, that many lines it will extract from the beginning of the file, okay, from the first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, okay. Okay, if I just give /etc/password as an argument to the head command, so by default, how many number of lines it will extract? It extracts 10 lines by default, okay. So by default means what? If you are not specifying the number of lines to be extracted, then it would extract 10 lines, the first 10 lines from the file /etc/password. So this is about the head command, okay. Now next let us learn about the tail command. Tail, just like how head command extracts from the beginning of the file, tail command extracts from the end of the file, okay. Tail minus n y /etc/password. So it extracts from the etc password /etc/password file the last 5 lines. It extracts from this /etc/password file, okay. Tail minus 20, okay, minus n 20 /etc/password. It extracts from /etc/password file the last 20 lines, okay. So let me repeat, head extracts from a particular file from the beginning specific number of lines. And head, if you are not giving with the head -n and then the number of lines, if you are not specifically giving it, then it will extract first 10 lines. Tail, it will extract specified number of lines at the end of the file. Okay, if you are not specifying any number of lines to be extracted, it will be by default extract last 10 lines. Okay, so this is about the head and tail commands. Okay, fine. See, let me show you. Tail /etc/password. I'm not giving any number of lines to be extracted. Then it will extract last 10 lines. Okay, so next let us see what is pipe. So when pipe is required, first let me tell you. Okay, cat -n /etc/password. What this cat with -n option will do, it will display the contents of the file etc password, but numbering the lines. Okay, so in etc password there are 31 lines, so it has numbered the lines. Okay, so we get the output along with the line number when you are issuing cat command with the -n option. Okay, 31 lines. So what if I want to get the lines between 11th line to 15th line? I want to get, so I don't want to get from the beginning. No, neither I want to get the number of lines from the beginning, nor I want to get a set of lines at the end, but I want to get somewhere in between, neither the beginning nor the end, but somewhere in between 11th to 15th line. Then our pipe can really help us. Okay, let us imagine that the pipe were not there. Then what we need to do, head -15 or -n15, okay, /etc/password, okay, then greater than, okay, something like beginning lines. Okay, like this. Okay, I am putting it to a file called beginning lines. Now what will beginning lines will have? Beginning lines will have, okay, first 15 lines of the /etc/password file. Okay, cat -n beginning _lines. So it has got the first 15 lines. So from the first 15 lines, I want to get the last 5 lines. Then what I will do? Tail -5, okay, beginning _lines. You are able to do this. But what is this? What is the problem here? Like, you have to create one file for this particular purpose, wherein I want to put the output of head to a file, and then I want tail to read from that, and then I should remember to remove that file. Otherwise, unnecessarily this in this file would be existing in my file system. So I need to remember to remove this file, and moreover, we have executed 2 commands, right? Head and tail. Twice we have executed commands. Okay, in the $prompt, 2 times we have executed the command. First the head and tail, and another disadvantage is that we had created one intermediate file. Okay, thanks to this pipe, we can always make one command to communicate it with the another command, wherein the left hand side command can write and the right hand side command can read. Now let us see how do we achieve the same thing with the help of pipe much easily. So what we can do, head -n15, you don't have to give space between -n and 15, you can give -n15. Okay, then in fact you can just give -15 also, but let us go it in a proper way. Okay, let us give -n15, let us give the syntax in a proper way. Even though -15 is allowed, let us give -n15 only, /etc/password. Now what is this? What would be the output of this head command? First 15 lines from the file /etc/password. That output I am piping it to tail -5. Now what will happen? Head will extract first 15 lines of /etc/password. Then what shell will do? Shell will place the output of head command in the pipe, and shell will allow tail command to read it, to read the output of head command which is placed in the pipe. It will allow tail to read that. And what tail will do? I have given tail -n5. So it will read last 5 lines from the first 15 lines. So last 5 lines from the first 15 lines means what? 11th line to 15th line. So I am able to extract some intermediate lines with the help of by making head and tail to communicate with each other with the help of the pipe. So these two commands would not be able to communicate if there was not a pipe. So thanks to the pipe, these both commands are able to communicate with each other. So pipe provides a mechanism wherein one command can communicate its output to another command. Okay, but the condition is that the command which is communicating to, which is the command which otherwise writes its output to the monitor, that can write its output to the pipe, that can put its output to the pipe. The command which otherwise reads its input from the keyboard can read from the pipe. So let me repeat, a command which otherwise writes its output to the console or the monitor, okay, or standard output file, that can write to the right end of the pipe. The command which otherwise reads from the keyboard, that can read from the read end of the pipe. Okay, so what happens? Yes, we are able to extract 11th line to 15th line from the file /etc/password. So I believe you would have understood this. Okay. So we have learnt about filters, what are filters, and then we have learnt about the two of the filters, head and command, and many more filters we are going to learn in the coming sessions. And we have learnt about one of the important mechanisms provided by shell, that is the piping mechanism, which allows commands to communicate with each other. Okay, so with this we are coming to the conclusion of today's session. Okay, so please keep working on whatever we are learning in these sessions. Okay, so if you like the video, you can share it, you can put a like tick, which would motivate me. And if you are yet to subscribe, you can subscribe to our channel. And if you are yet to click on the bell icon, you can click on the bell icon for getting the notifications and updates. Okay, thank you. See you in the next class. Take care. Bye bye.